You do not have to choose between staying in shape and having a life. In this episode, I'm going to share with you what healthy high performers do to still be in shape without compromising their social life. Because the reality is, if you are like me and many of our clients, run a business or involved in running a business, and you've worked long hours, a lot of decision making, a lot of client meetings, client dinners, then you've got dinners with your family and you love food, but you still want to look a certain way, how you manage you and your lifestyle is going to be different to the average person. So many of my clients eat out every week, not even just at the weekend. During the week, certainly the clients and business owners who work and live in major cities. So what do you do? Well, I'm going to share with you 3 really practical tips that are going to tell you what to do. But firstly, I wanted to highlight 3 pieces of awful advice that are not going to help you. And you've likely listened to, maybe absorbed, and failed. Firstly, bad advice. If you have a coach or anyone that says this to you, it's just not realistic. And that is avoid social occasions. Yes, I'm sure there are certain times across your calendar year that you could say no to a situation or a social event you didn't want to attend. But rather than avoid these social occasions, learning how to manage them better is going to be the solution. Avoiding social events, certainly involving food, is just not realistic. It really isn't. Secondly, meal prep everything. If your week-to-week schedule doesn't allow you to meal prep everything, or you simply don't want to do it, then don't. Being told just to meal prep everything isn't going to help you when you're at events, you're networking, or when you travel. It's just not. I've been there myself over and over again. I used to meal prep in my 20s and early 30s when I was in Coventry, but my life was different then. All I had to think about was me. Didn't have a partner, didn't travel so much, so I could pretty much prep every meal every week. Thirdly, weekends don't count. This is the worst piece of advice ever. The amount of people who can say, I'm good Monday to Thursday, Monday to Friday, but then it's just the weekends. So weekends do count. I've said many times on previous podcasts, it's 52 weekends in a year. That's 104 days that make up your weekends. So even if you were eating perfectly Monday to Friday, if you don't know how to manage your weekends, that's a third of a year that I guarantee is going to dictate everything and shape your weight, your health, your energy and confidence about your body and more. They literally define your results. If you're not where you want to be, there's a strong chance it's because you don't know how to manage your weekends. And this is what we're masters at inside Built to Last. People do not need a diet plan at the weekend. They just need help navigating what to eat when they eat out or on the go, or in any situation that they cannot prep their food or don't want to prep their food. So what are 3 really simple but high-level solutions that have worked over and over again with our Built to Last clients and have kept me in shape for every year of my adult life, irrelevant of where I've been? When you actually eat out, prioritize protein as the main macro and source of food in every starter you have, every main you order, followed by a big portion of vegetables where possible in your main, followed by good, clean, complex carbs as a preference. Simply put, the majority of your plate when you're eating out should be at least 50% protein and vegetables or protein and salad. Why? You're less likely to overeat if you prioritize protein first. Most people undereat protein, certainly when they eat out. They'll pick starters that are low in protein, high in fats, maybe high in sugar, high in glazes. It's going to naturally create the urge to eat even more after that. Very hard to overeat on protein. Okay. Secondly, save more calories for the weekend. Look at your week from Monday to Sunday on the previous weekend and literally forward plan the following week and go, which days do I want to eat more? Which days do I want to eat a little bit less, or do I need to eat a little bit less? Keep your protein the same every single day, but literally budget more food volume allowance on the days you know that you naturally like to eat more food. And don't be deluded. I'm yet to coach anyone who wants to eat the same food every day or can eat the same food every day, week to week, month to month, year round. For many people watching this and listening to this, you're going to want to eat more food Friday, Saturday, Sunday, or at least Saturday, Sunday. Allow more buffer for calories on these days without starving on the previous 4 to 5 days. Thirdly, when you eat out, think dessert or booze, not both. These two things are going to be the biggest contributing factors to excessive calories very, very quickly and binging and craving more. If you have 1 or 2 drinks, you're likely to want 3 or 4. If you have a dessert, you're likely to want to eat more. These things don't really fill you up too much, but they're going to make the biggest dent in your calories if you're trying to drop weight, or not even just drop weight, but optimize energy. If you eat excessive sugar, drink excessive booze, that'll have a direct impact on your energy the next level. I'm not saying avoid them, but don't have both if you are trying to maintain your weight at this given period, or lose weight at least. And don't waste calories on sauces and dips. They're just not needed. Yes, they might taste good, but for the 2 seconds they're in your mouth, ask yourself, is this really worth the hundreds of calories that they can add up to? Because you might think, oh, that dip, that sauce, it's only 100 calories. If you're doing that multiple times a week, that could be hundreds, if not thousands of calories. Accumulate that across the month. That could be the difference right now in you dropping 3, 4, 5 pounds versus putting on 3, 4, 5 pounds. Try and make sure that the majority of the food you put in your mouth is coming from real, wholesome food and not sugars, dips, and processed food. Think about the difference that would make across not just a month, but across a calendar year. If you did nothing else but minimized or removed sauces and dips across a calendar year, imagine the difference that would make to your shape and weight. And you might think, okay, I really enjoy sauces and dips. So do I. And when you're leaner and you're in a position where you're at your optimal body weight and shape, your body will have a little bit more flexibility, and you've earned the right to maybe have some sauces and dips here and there. But until you get there, park them. They're a waste. And for the 2 seconds they're in your mouth, it's costing you in energy, and it's costing you in excessive calories that are going to accumulate more body fat. All right, so just to recap, prioritize protein and veggies first in every meal you have. Secondly, allow more buffer for calories on the days you like to eat more food. And to get more granular than that, allow more calories in your evening meal, certainly at weekends, or your last meal, because you're not going to get change out of 1,000 calories minimum when you eat out. So something has to give before you eat out. Lastly, think desserts or booze, not both, and don't waste calories on sauces and dips. If you did this week to week, I guarantee you would manage your social occasions more without compromising your enjoyment. Yes, it requires discipline, but these are practical things that are easy to implement that will really shift the needle when it comes to your weight, shape, and health. As always, if you struggle with absolutely any of these, I've got a stack of free resources I can send you. It's going to help you manage calories better, choose the right foods, and contribute to more progress with your shape and weight. If you would like them, please drop me a direct message on Instagram or LinkedIn. Reach out to me on my website and I can help you. Until next time, have a great week. Take action off this podcast, because it's pointless listening to me if you're not going to follow up with action. And watch how much better you feel. See you next time.